Hello there, a short video this time on some issues that affect shareholders. So we've worked through these different forms of ownership, and I've gone into some detail on limited and unlimited liability in a previous video. In this video I will look at these 3 bullet points here because they are going to be relevant for the next little set of videos on shareholders, share price, etc. So first of all, we need to be really clear about what a shareholder is. A shareholder is the owner of a limited company who invests capital in return for decision-making power and a share of a company's profits. In other words, shareholders stick their own money into a company, and in return for the risk they take in investing their own money, they get a say in how the company is run. At the annual general meeting, I've got a picture here from Sainsbury's annual general meeting, where the shareholders sitting here are able to vote on important matters, particularly regarding the appointment of directors to run the business, and they might be able to raise any issues that they have. It looks like that's what this person here is doing. Shareholders are entitled to a say in how the business is run, and they are also entitled to a share of the company's profits, which is known as a dividend payment. So shareholders could own ordinary shares, and you need to know what ordinary shares are. An ordinary share is a proportion of the ownership of a business that entitles the owner to decision-making power and a share of that company's profit. So basically, a shareholder will get a certificate that says the number of shares that they've got, and that will entitle them to that many votes, and their dividend payment as well, depending on how many shares they own. A share, it should be recognised that a share is permanent, so the company doesn't have to buy it back from the shareholder. The shareholder can sell the share on the stock market though, if they decide they want to sell it. Dividend payments are not guaranteed, okay? So it's not guaranteed that the owner of an ordinary share will get a dividend payment. That's different to preference shares. The owners of preference shares do get a fixed dividend every year. One share entitles the owner to 1 vote, so therefore a 51% share of a company is an important figure, because that means that it doesn't matter how much anyone else owns of the company. If you've got 51% of the votes, you're going to be able to outvote anyone. The next issue you need to be aware of is market capitalisation. Market capitalisation is essentially a measure of a business's value. It's a reflection of what investors believe a business to be worth. It's calculated by taking the number of shares that have been issued and multiplying that by the current share price. And it gives you a value which is, you sometimes hear people say this business is worth this much. This is one way of calculating the value of a business. So here's just a graphic that shows that earlier in 2016, just towards the beginning, Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, overtook Apple in terms of market capitalisation as the biggest company in the world measured that way. I guess that's a reflection of the fact that people are a bit worried about Apple's strategy. Will they be able to replace the iPhone? And investors are more confident about Google. Anyway, final point is dividends. So a dividend is a share of the company's profit that's issued to shareholders on an annual basis. Of course, if a company doesn't make a profit, it doesn't need to make a dividend payment, and even if it does make a profit, some organisations may well choose not to pay their shareholders a dividend in order to keep that money and reinvest it, although there is usually some shareholder pressure to pay a dividend. Whether that's in the best interest of the company in the long term or not is debatable. So we've covered those 3 issues in this video. Next time we'll look at shareholders.